This is something I want to talk to you guys about. We're talking about the Super Bowl, and we're talking about how it's always different every year. I want to ask you guys a question. Who do you think's legacy changes the most this year with the Super Bowl win?
I'm going to jump on it.
Do you taking that?
I think there's one right answer.
I
To this question, there's one right answer. The legacy that changes the most with a Super Bowl win this year is Lamar Action Jackson. And let me tell you why. Let me list the various reasons. If you take a poll and you ask, hey, guy, where do you think Lamar Jackson ranks as a quarterback in the NFL today? Right? You're going to hear 2, you're going to hear 3, you're going to hear some 8s, you're going to hear some 7s, you're going to hear some 5s. You'll never hear 1, and rightfully so. You shouldn't hear 1. But with a Super Bowl win, because I'm predicting Lamar will squeeze out one more MVP in his career because that team is going to be good every year in the regular season.
Ravens are always good.
They just are. With a quarterback like Lamar, you're going to win a bunch of games in the regular season. We're talking about 2 or 3 league MVPs. He's on the screen again. We're talking about 2 or 3 league MVPs. We're talking about a Super Bowl champion. Now he goes from, you can't win with that play style, to now, hey, bro, let's draft the runner. Let's draft the runner. Maybe we don't need him to be great in the pocket. Maybe if he gives us 60, 70 yards, along with a great run game and a great offensive line and a little bit of weapons around him, we're good. And maybe we don't got to spend everywhere else. Maybe we just need a really good quarterback behind center. Someone who could take us there with his feet as well as with his arms, when need be. That's what it flips. It's a big narrative change. It goes from, are you top 5? To now, you're cemented to me as a top 10 quarterback of all time. Bro, it's 2 or 3 MVPs and a Super Bowl champion. That's a top 10 resume. That's a guy who wins over 10, 11 games every year. His team, say he chokes in the playoffs. If he wins a Super Bowl, you can't say he chokes anymore. Say he wins one. Now it's a guy who, bro, your team is going to win every fucking time we lace up. We're winning 12. We're winning 11 games. Fact. We're going to go deep. You have a Super Bowl. You have 2 or 3 MVPs under your belt. You're top fucking 10. Sorry. End the discussion.
Top 10 of all time.
All time. Sorry. Because you know what? You take his resume and you line it up with Aaron fucking Rodgers, it's going to look the same. 1 Super Bowl, 3 or 4 MVPs.
Now let me do something real quick, though. Now I'm going to do something for you. Let's flip it. Let's say Lamar gets knocked out again and he doesn't play well in the playoffs again.
Right.
Does this remind you guys of something? A quarterback that wins a lot of games in the regular season and doesn't do really well in the playoffs?
Who?
That's just another Dak Prescott to me. Listen, but wait, Hattie, hold up, D. It's the same narrative. A guy, a big name. I'm not saying that he's Dak Prescott, but I'm saying though, like we get
You're saying the narrative?
The narrative would be. We get on guys.
The only problem that I have to disagree with that.
Because Dak's winning 12 games a year in the last couple of years.
Different resume though.
Yeah, no,
that resume is not the same.
Come on,
but I'm telling you that's where it's gonna, like, if he goes back into the playoffs and he shits the bed.
Mm-hmm. If we take it back a couple years ago, when you guys had the best offensive line in the league.
100%.
And you had one of the best run games in the league. You had a great receiving core. And you were great on defense. I think, what was it, 3 years ago?
We were never great on defense.
You were really good, though. Top 10.
We were okay.
Okay, say top 15.
Yeah.
At that point, that's a better team than Lamar has ever played with. Ever. Ever, bro.
You're not going to sit here and you're not going to get me arguing against you.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to tell you is he is going to get thrown into that same bin.
Is the narrative going to be that? Yeah, but
the narrative is that right now.
But most sports narratives are wrong anyways.
But
so wrong.
But it's not.
We call those on a day-to-day basis. We call those casuals.
But
guys who don't watch.
Listen, I get it.
Watch it for fun.
I get it. But we get on a lot of people for not winning big in the playoffs. Lamar's just unless you're a Steelers fan or you're a Bengals fan or you're a Browns fan, I really don't see a lot of people that hate Lamar. Lamar's a really likable guy around the league, right? As far as fans wise,
right.
Unless you're,
and players seem to love him too.
So I think sometimes it's easier to kind of forget that, yeah, he hasn't done really well in the playoffs. And it's just not W's and L's. It's he hasn't played well in the playoffs. Can he get some more help around him? Sure. But we always don't put that context around other quarterbacks who we shit on when they don't win the playoffs.
But everything that you're saying is the exact reason why he has the most to prove. He has the most to gain.
100%.
Because you know what, bro? You can't have the most to gain if you have nothing to lose.
100%.
If you're already cemented as a guy, you can't gain more. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I can't say, who gains the most out of winning an NBA championship this year? Oh, it's going to be Stephen Curry.
My boy.
No.
My boy.
It's going to be Shy. It's going to be It's going to be one of these guys. They have the most to gain. You know what I'm saying?
100% I'm with you. I'm 100% with you.
So mine is Lamar Jackson.
BG?
I have the same exact one. I legit have Lamar Jackson. He has everything else. Other than, you can't say he won't choke in the playoffs, because once he has that ring, no more choking. He has the MVPs. He'll be the number one quarterback.
Oh, you put him over Patty?
I'll put him right over Patty, man. Fuck Patty.
I don't know about all that.
No. I won't put him over Patty.
He tried to. Listen, he threw it on the wall and see if this.
I won't. No.
You gotta give him credit for it.
I won't put him over Patty.
Yeah.
No, but that Lamar, his legacy will change. No, I will put him top 10-ish of all time. 10-ish. At 10. 10 or 11.
Guys, 3 MVPs in a Super Bowl is closer to 5 than 10.
I'm taking him over A-Rod. I'll take him over A-Rod.
Bro, if you look at, Hakeem, like...
No, he's never had the team A-Rod has had. He's never had the team, like you said, like Dak has had. He's never had that team. Lamar is Lamar by himself.
That would be a fucking resume, bro.
100%.
That would be a fucking resume, bro.
You used to put A-Rod, like, really, really high on your...
historically, I still have A-Rod very high, man.
Exactly.
Well, he should be.
Yeah, I mean,
He should be.
Go look at some stats, man.
So then you
Now, be
switch
careful.
him
I
out.
never said he's going to pass
yeah.
A-Rod.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I'm saying he's going to be top 10.
He'll be up there with A-Rod, though.
In the same... Yeah.
Literally.
I mean, resume-wise, you have to do that.
Literally.
You know, man, you guys are right on the money. I think something that people have to really realize, and I don't want to be, they call this on the internet, cap boy, talking about cap room and stuff like that. Anytime that you pay your quarterback big bucks, I'm talking 50 plus million, you have to do more with less around you. It happens with every single team. So with Lamar, they lost a lot of pieces on defense because they're paying on the money. Baltimore had to lose Joe Mixon, and a lot of pieces on defense. We see it with the Cowboys. They're already telling Dak, we don't think you're that guy. That's why we're not going to pay you that. We see it with Patty. Patty, we're going to pay you that money. They're not even paying him the $60 million yet. I'm sorry, man. You can't have your number one receiver in Tyreek. You're going to have to make it work with Juju Smith or some rookie we get inside the 6th round or something like that for you, right? That's how it is now. You got to, as a quarterback that's getting paid a ton, you got to push your team through. It's not going to be like that anymore. That's why, like, I always get on Hurts too, though, because he's getting paid those big bucks. And, man, he's got A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
He's got...
Like, you need to do it now.
Yeah.
Now you need to do it
It's
now.
time. Same thing with golf, though. He got paid those big bucks.
Yeah.
How much longer can you really keep that offensive line in front of you? How long?
Oh, they're super young.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. But
They're
they got to get
super young.
They got to get paid.
100%.
They got to get paid.
They will.
You know what's going to end up happening? They're going to have to pick and choose. Do we get to keep Gibbs? Do we get to keep one of his better left offensive tackles? Do we get to keep Hutchinson? It just doesn't work where you can keep everybody and build a team. My whole point about that is Lamar has been proven every year he can do it in the regular season. That narrative, man, he wins the Super Bowl, I'll be with you. I'll say he's the number one quarterback in the league. That's just what I believe. When you win the Super Bowl, you have your time in the sun as a number one. I'm gonna take my my legacy on who I think's legacy will change the most. A little bit different though. Shocker, it's Patty Mahomes.
Oh
Hold up, let me tell you guys why though.
Man, oh my God.
Well,
bro.
listen, you guys went with the next most popular guy in
No, we
the
didn't.
league.
We
I mean,
actually
you guys-
the question was who would change the
Is it okay if I
with
can
another ring?
Can I ask you guys? Can I answer the question now? Is
Go
that
ahead,
okay?
brother. Sure.
I think that Patrick Mahomes' legacy would change with a three-peat, and let me tell you why. Think of all the great quarterbacks that you could think of. Tom Brady, Troy, Montana, all those guys, man. You know, it's one thing they've never done? They've never three-peated. They've never three-peated. If Patty Mahomes three-peats, that GOAT conversation happens a lot earlier. Not the best quarterback we've ever watched. That GOAT conversation starts a lot earlier. And let me kind of compare it to something. You know how we talked about Michael Jordan versus LeBron and what it took for us to start seeing, it took us to seeing LeBron as the GOAT. It's what he did against Golden State. He did something that Michael could never do, and that's beat a loaded team on the other side and come back from 3-1. Well, let's switch it back to football real quick, right? If Patty Mahomes three-peats, that would put him at 4 rings. He put him as the first quarterback to ever repeat. He's essentially one more ring away to being in the middle of his prime and already being considered the GOAT in my eyes. And it's hard to argue against that. He would three-peat. Something nobody has ever done. Think about all this rich history of the NFL. And it's not always that there's a chance to three-peat. You got to win 2. It's just simple math. And it's right there in front of him. That's why I think his legacy could change the most by winning that. Because it's not every day that we have quarterbacks walking around where they can be considered the GOAT while they're still playing in the middle of their careers. That's why I picked Patty.
A bullshit. A bullshit. The question was whose legacy would change the most, not whose legacy would change.
That it would change the most. He'd be one step closer to the
top
GOAT.
8 in the league versus now you're top 10 all time is not the same as, oh, what do you think Patty is? He's second all time. What do you think he'd be with Super Bowl? He's second all time. What? But Hakeem, okay, Ali, you're a resident Tom Brady
Don't
fan
ask
on
him,
the pod.
Don't ask him.
One second. If Patty wins it, if he finishes his three-peat, is he the GOAT to you?
The GOAT?
Yeah?
No.
Do you think that most Tom Brady fans would give him that respect of saying, oh, he's the GOAT now?
I don't think anybody would give him that.
Do you think he'd be the GOAT with a three-peat?
I can argue that he is, yeah.
I never asked that because you argue that now. I'm asking you.
With a three-peat,
Yeah.
I would absolutely say he's the GOAT. And I can argue it back. So it's funny. There's
So
a
when
poll-
somebody comes and tells you, oh, he never three-peated, but he also didn't win 7, what do you say?
and that's fine. I can argue ring by ring, and I could talk about how it's more
you don't-
impressive.
But the
No,
problem,
that's
that's
not the
my
point.
issue with your choice, is you could do that now. That's my problem with it.
Again, though, for me, anytime it comes to that GOAT conversation, doing something that nobody's ever done, that's crazy. So there's a poll that came out, right? I don't want to make this a Patty fucking Mahomes show. There's a poll that came out this week
The players.
with the players about Patty Mahomes versus Tom and who they think the GOAT. Obviously, Patty only got 8 votes that they thought that he was the GOAT, which to me is so crazy. There's players in the league right now that think that Patty Mahomes is the GOAT. You know what most of them thought, though? Most of them thought that he's the best, though, the best quarterback they've ever watched.
Right.
I could promise you with a three-peat, there's going to be a lot more than 8 votes, man. I could promise you that. There's people already now that are playing the game of football that think he's the GOAT. I know it's a small number, but there's people that believe it already without the three-peat.
His teammates.
I know, Hakeem, but like second greatest to now you're the greatest is not as big of a jump as the guy on the screen right now who's going to go from, is he top 10 in the league to now he's top 10 all time. That's a much bigger jump, bro.
But, man, next year, a three-peat just
Who do you think
does-
needs it more? Lamar or Pat?
Well, obviously Lamar.
Then that's your answer to
Because
your
he hasn't
question.
done.
No, but that's answered your
Hey,
question.
listen, it's not a comp.
You
Listen,
just answered the
But
question.
that was the question,
You just
though.
answered the
Hey, listen, it's not a competition
You
on
just
who's
answered the question.
Well, that was the question,
Hey,
though.
but no, because I think for his legacy though, that three-peat could consider. Maybe you can start considering him the GOAT. That's a big deal, bro.
Bro, Patrick Mahomes fans already think he's the GOAT. Tom Brady fans already think he's the GOAT.
Take that.
Patrick Mahomes fans always argue it's because, yeah, he has less rings, but he's a better player. Tom Brady fans always argue, okay, 0-7, then come talk to me. 4-7 or 3-7 is not going to change that conversation much.
I'm just not going to talk about Patty Mahomes for the rest of the year at this
Yes,
point.
you know what? Just stop. Every fucking NFL topic. Patty Mahomes.
You guys asked me who.
They bring a dear one saying pizza.
Bro, you guys asked me who's gonna be the AFC Championship. I said the Chiefs. I get shitted on for that.
I never shit on you for picking the Chiefs as AFC champion.
I said the Chiefs a lot. You know.
I said who can use it the most. You said Patrick. You said the guy that already has 3 Super Bowls. Yeah, that could change the most. What?
That'd be that GOAT, baby. These guys getting on me over my my legacy takes and all this. Come on, guys.
It's just been Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
It's been
honestly, bro,
Patrick-
just become a Patrick Mahomes.
Well-
This is the Patrick Mahomes episode.
Well, then you guys aren't gonna like the next subject because you guys are gonna hear more of them. All right, listen, we talked about conference winners, who we think is going to be the NFC Championship, the AFC Championship. You know what I want to know now? I want